The year was heavy with sadness for the Prophet Muhammad, a time known as the Year of Sorrow. Mecca, once his sanctuary, became a place of pain after the loss of his beloved wife, Khadija, his greatest supporter and the first to believe in his message. Her passing left a deep emptiness in his heart. Soon after, his uncle Abu Talib, his protector and clan leader, also died. With Abu Talib gone, the Prophet lost his shield against the hostility of Quraysh. The enemies of Islam grew bolder, mocking and persecuting him openly. The message of one God was met with anger and violence. The Prophet's heart was heavy, not just for his own loss, but for the people of Mecca who turned away from the truth. Each day became a test of patience and faith. He walked the streets of Mecca, now filled with scorn and ridicule. Yet, he could not give up. His mission was from Allah. He needed to find new people, new hearts open to faith. In his deepest sorrow and isolation, he looked beyond Mecca, searching for a new place to plant the seeds of Islam. The Prophet's resolve was unbroken, even as he faced the darkest days of his life. This was the moment he decided to seek hope elsewhere. With Mecca no longer safe, the Prophet Muhammad turned his hopes to Ta'if, a city nestled in the mountains, known for its gardens and wealth. He believed its people might be more receptive to his message and could offer protection to the Muslims. Accompanied by his loyal companion, Zayd ibn Haritha, the Prophet set out on foot, avoiding the eyes of Quraysh. The journey was harsh: rocky deserts, scorching sun, and uncertainty at every step. Yet the Prophet's determination never wavered. He dreamed of a community where faith could flourish, where believers could worship freely. Ta'if represented a new beginning, a chance to spread the message of Tawheed. As they walked, the Prophet prepared his words, trusting in Allah's plan. Zayd shared in his hopes and hardships, witnessing the Prophet's resilience. This journey was not just physical, it was a test of faith, a symbol of never surrendering to despair. The Prophet left behind everything familiar, seeking a door that Allah might open. His trust in Allah was absolute. Arriving in Ta'if, the Prophet and Zayd found a city of beauty and promise. The Prophet hoped its people would welcome his message. He spent 10 days inviting the people of Thaqif, the city's proud and wealthy tribe, to Islam. But his words were met with indifference and mockery. The people clung to their traditions and idols, seeing his call as a threat. The Prophet moved from group to group, leader to leader, but found only closed hearts. The lush gardens of Ta'if hid a spiritual emptiness. Disappointment grew, but the Prophet did not lose hope. He sought out the city's 3 most powerful brothers, Abd Yalil, Masud, and Habib, placing his final hopes on their acceptance. He prayed for Allah to open their hearts. With calm resolve, he approached their gathering, ready to present the truth. The Prophet's optimism endured, even as hope began to fade. He was determined to fulfill his mission, no matter the outcome. The Prophet Muhammad spoke to the 3 leaders of Ta'if with wisdom and humility, inviting them to the worship of one God. Instead of support, he was met with sarcasm and insults. Abd Yalil mocked him, Mas'ud belittled him, and Habib dismissed him entirely. Their words were sharp, their hearts sealed. They saw the Prophet as a threat, not a guide. The leaders refused to help, demanded he leave, and made their rejection clear. The Prophet's hopes for Ta'if were shattered in that moment. He faced not just refusal, but humiliation. Yet he remained dignified, unwavering in his mission. The doors of Ta'if were closed, but his faith remained open. The leaders of Ta'if did not stop at rejection. They incited the townspeople against the Prophet. A mob formed, hurling insults and stones as the Prophet and Zayd tried to leave. The Prophet was struck, his feet bleeding, his body wounded. Zayd shielded him, suffering injuries himself, but never faltered in loyalty. The mob chased them for miles, relentless in their cruelty. Despite the pain, the Prophet showed only patience, never anger or curses. At last, they found refuge in a vineyard owned by two Meccan brothers, Utbah and Shaybah. Though enemies, the brothers felt a moment of compassion seeing the Prophet's suffering. The Prophet, exhausted and bleeding, sat in the shade of a grapevine. His physical wounds were deep, but the pain of rejection cut even deeper. Alone and far from home, he turned inward for strength. Even in agony, his spirit was unbroken. Wounded and alone, the Prophet Muhammad turned to Allah in heartfelt prayer. He did not ask for revenge, but poured out his weakness and pain to his Lord. "O Allah, to you I complain of my weakness, my lack of resources, and my insignificance before people." He reaffirmed his faith. "As long as you are not angry with me, I do not care." His only fear was displeasing Allah. The world's rejection meant nothing compared to his Creator's favor. He sought refuge in Allah's light, asking for guidance and mercy. "There is no power and no strength except with you." This prayer was a moment of profound submission and trust. Peace descended upon him, even as his wounds bled. The Prophet's connection to Allah was his true source of strength. In his darkest hour, he found solace in faith. Witnessing the Prophet's suffering, Utbah and Shaybah sent their Christian slave, Adas, with grapes as a gesture of kindness. The Prophet accepted, saying, "Bismillah," surprising Adas, who recognized these words from his own faith tradition. Curious, Adas asked about the Prophet's origins and faith. The Prophet spoke of Yunus, Jonah, revealing knowledge only a prophet would have. Adas was astonished. "How do you know of Yunus?" The Prophet replied, "He was my brother, a prophet, and I am a prophet." Overcome, Adas recognized the truth and showed deep respect, kissing the Prophet's hands and feet. The owners were puzzled by Adas's reverence. Adas told them, "There is no one on earth better than this man." In the heart of a humble slave, the Prophet's message found acceptance. Even in rejection, Allah sent comfort from unexpected places. This encounter was a sign that faith would find its way to open hearts. The Prophet's mission was far from over. After Ta'if, the Prophet faced a new challenge, returning safely to Mecca. Without Abu Talib's protection, he was vulnerable to his enemies. He sought the traditional Arab custom of protection, jiwar, sending requests to several leaders. Two refused, but Mutim ibn Adi, a non-Muslim known for his honor, agreed. Mutim gathered his clan, armed and ready, and escorted the Prophet to the Kaaba. Abu Jahl, seeing this, respected the code and did not interfere. The Prophet prayed at the Kaaba, safe under Mutim's protection. Even among enemies, Allah provided allies of honor. The Prophet's faith in Allah's plan never wavered. This event showed that help can come from the most unexpected sources. The Prophet was back in Mecca, his mission continuing. The ordeal of Ta'if was among the Prophet's greatest trials, but with hardship comes ease. Allah honored him with the miraculous night journey, Isra and Miraj. In one night, the Prophet traveled from Mecca to Jerusalem, then ascended through the heavens. He met earlier prophets and was brought into Allah's divine presence. The 5 daily prayers were established, a gift for the Muslim community. This miracle comforted the Prophet's heart and affirmed his high status. Soon after, during the pilgrimage season, the Prophet met 6 men from Yathrib. Unlike others, they listened and accepted Islam, recognizing him from prophecies. They promised to spread the message in their city and return. This meeting planted the seeds for a new beginning, the future Hijrah to Medina. The rejection in Ta'if paved the way for acceptance and victory elsewhere. Allah's plan was unfolding, turning sorrow into hope. A new dawn was on the horizon for Islam.